At SalesScripter, we get a lot of requests for examples of a sales script or examples of a cold call script. As a result, we wanted to make a short video that actually goes through an example section by section, and we also allow you to download this example from our website if you go to this URL. The first section of our scripts is a clear statement of what the goal of the call is. In this script, our goal is to set a meeting or schedule an appointment. If we're not able to achieve our primary goal, our secondary goal in this script is to schedule the prospect for one of our upcoming webinars. We include an introduction section of a script. Here are some examples of what can be said in different situations, whether you know the prospect's name, you only know their title, you have no idea who you're trying to reach, and then when you get a hold of the prospect. We like to get our salespeople to sound as little like salespeople as possible. As a result, in the early part of our cold call, we want to minimize product discussion, company discussion, anything that might signify that I'm a salesperson trying to sell something. Instead, we replace that with something like a value statement, or you could replace it with some pain point examples that you help to resolve, or you could replace it with a name drop example. In this sales script example, we use a value statement at the very beginning of the call. What this does is this kind of lets the prospect know what angle we're coming from. So we might say something like, great, well, the reason why I'm reaching out to you is we help businesses to improve the design, traffic, and conversion for their website. At this point, the prospect knows how you can help and what general area you're referring to. And they might know that at the end of the day, you might be trying to sell something, but at this point, you sound more like a business person than a salesperson. The next section of this sales script is optional, and it's a disqualify statement. This is a statement to say to sort of disarm the prospect. And you can say something like, but you know, I actually don't know if you're a good fit for what we do, so I was just calling you with a couple questions if you have a couple minutes. At this point, you've checked to see if they're in the middle of anything, you've disarmed them, confirmed that they have a couple minutes. Now you've bought yourself a 2 to 5 minute window. And now what we're going to do is we're going to ask some pre-qualifying questions. These are questions just to determine if the prospect is a fit for what you have to offer. If the prospect doesn't fit, then there's really no point in you even trying to establish and sell to this prospect. Another thing that these pre-qualifying questions do is they make it more conversational. They get the prospect talking. They make it more about the prospect and less about the products and services you're trying to sell. They might help you to uncover pain. So this is a very powerful moment in the call, at which point I might say something like, if I could ask you real quick, how do you feel about the current design and layout of your website? At this point, the prospect is going to say some sort of answer. And I can either follow up that answer with a follow-up question that's related to that specific question that I asked, or if I get a lukewarm to cold answer, I may move on to the next pre-qualifying question. Now, an important thing about the scripts that we produce is that depending on the responses you get, that can impact what direction you take the call. If you ask a couple of these questions and the prospect is very responsive and giving you great answers in terms of they're having the problems that you can fix, they appear to fit well with what you have to offer, you don't have to go through all these questions. And the next few sections that I'm going to show you in the script, you could skip ahead and start to begin to close the prospect for your primary goal, which is scheduling an appointment, a meeting. But if we ask some questions in the previous section and then we don't get any great answers, what we're looking for is a fit, or we're looking for some problems that we can help to fix. If there aren't any problems and everything is great, then this might not be someone that we're going to be able to sell to real easily, and that might mean they might not be worth our valuable time. So if we don't get any great answers, we can progress to this next section, which is where we're just going to give them examples of the problems we're looking for. We were kind of beating around a bush before with the questions. Now we're going to just be very direct, and we're going to say, oh, okay, well, it sounds like you guys are doing pretty good, but, when we talk with other, let's say, small businesses or whatever the type of business that we're speaking to, when we speak with other small businesses, we notice that they sometimes express challenges with the website is not performing up to the type of results that they need. It can be difficult to clearly communicate everything that company has to offer through their website, and there's usually room for improvement with the layout and the design of the website. Are you concerned about any of those? At this point, we're checking in. We give them the exact problems we're looking for that we can fix. What we're trying to do is we're trying to identify, does the prospect have any of these problems? And if they do, then we can begin to start to try to close the prospect. And that begins with starting to talk a little bit about us. See, everything else we've done up to this point, we've been talking about them. And we've been very focused on them sounding more like a business person than a salesperson. We didn't want to do that right out of the gate. Well, now we're getting towards the end of the call script, towards the end of the call, and now we can talk a little bit about us. Hopefully they've said something that resonates and that makes them a fit, and at this point we can say something like, oh well, it might be productive for us to talk in more detail based on what you shared. The reason why is, as I mentioned, I'm with Steel Whip, and we actually provide web design services and can help you with everything from building a new website, improving your existing one, and then we can work with you to optimize your site to drive traffic to it through internet marketing and search engine optimization. Some ways we differ from other companies out there. There's a lot of companies out there that do what we do. Things that we differ at is we have decades of experience. We use industry leading tools and technology, and we usually get better results than other agencies, and I can show you some examples of that. Here are some more facts about us. You might not want to share all of this. You just want to kind of share what's most powerful and what you think might build enough interest so that you can go for the close, which is the last section of the script. You might say something like, but you know what, I've called you out of the blue. I don't want to take any more of your time right now. A great next step would be for us to schedule a 15-20 minute meeting where we can discuss your goals and challenges and what's going on with your website. We can show you some examples of other websites that we've built and how we've helped companies like yours to improve results. Are you open to scheduling that call next Tuesday morning or Wednesday afternoon? And that is an example of a sales script or a cold call script. Again, if you want to download that exact script so you can play around with it, make it your own, go to www.salesscripter.com/sales-script-example. While you will be able to get that one script from our website, if you actually want more than that, you can actually subscribe to SalesScripter. And what SalesScripter is it's a web-based application that will help you to build out your script and build something like that that's unique to your business with your pain points and your questions. SalesScripter actually will provide you with a library of dozens of templates and call scripts, and the thing that's really nice is as you're building out your call script, you'll actually also create prospecting email templates, prospecting voicemail scripts, and the software will also produce an objections map. SalesScripter is provided on a subscription basis, so there's a monthly subscription. You could just sign up for 1 month, get all your scripts and get out. A lot of our users use the software on an ongoing basis, so that's up to you. You can cancel at any time. And we do provide 100% satisfaction guarantee with 30-day money-back refund if you're not satisfied. If you're not ready to jump into SalesScripter, the application, just yet, but you want more help, I'd encourage you to go to our YouTube channel, which is maybe where you're watching this video. There's over 150 videos on there with sales tips and webinars and sales training videos. While you're there, subscribe, and then you'll get notified when we upload new videos. You can also download 5 free ebooks from our website. There is an ebook on do's and don'ts of cold calling, how to get around objections, how to build your value proposition, how to build sales campaigns, how to build email drip campaigns. Those are all free. You can download them from our website. You can also purchase a paperback book that we provide called The Cold Calling Equation from Amazon. The thing that's nice about the paperback version versus the ebooks is that you can have that real physical book that you can set on your desk, or if you have employees, that you could give them a copy. I know me personally, I download ebooks all the time, and they end up getting lost in my email or on my computer, and I never really read them the same way that I do a physical book. So the paperback book it also goes into a lot more detail than all of the ebooks. So check that out. If you like this methodology, we do actually provide a full sales training program, and it can be designed as an new hire onboard sales methodology training. It's organized into this structure, and this content can actually be accessed on YouTube, and we do have customers that use our YouTube channel as part of their new employee onboarding. If you want more direct help, you can reach out to us. We provide sales coaching one-on-one or in a group format. We do provide sales consulting to help you with developing your messaging, developing your strategy, your processes, and we also provide sales training that aligns with all of our content that we showed you here today. And you can contact me directly. Here's my direct contact info. Send me an email. We'd be glad to answer any of your questions and help you in any way.